Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the C Kappa Invitationals. We've got our second heat of the day here. The upper bracket best of 3 grand finals. It's not the grand finals, it's just the upper bracket finals. Fnatic up against Sig.Trust. Probably the best matchup that we've had so far in this bracket. The winner of this will be secured a spot in the best of 5 grand finals, and the loser going down to the lower bracket finals, so their opponent is still yet to be determined. No Mushi today, but that's not a surprise to any of us. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening in this draft here. Upper bracket finals, best of 3. Oh God, I can't wait. Draft already well underway here. Beastmaster Wisp, the 2 banned out by Fnatic first. Invoker and Enchantress taken out by Sig.Trust. All these bans making some sense here. And let's see. Ooh, AA, BB, AA, ABBA. In here for Sig.Trust today. All right. And 3-4-3 on Fnatic in the place of 1 Mushi. Vengeful Spirit Batrider, the opening choice here for Fnatic, and Earth Spirit Oracle for Sig.Trust. Okay. Well, Venge Batrider, not a bad way to start a draft. Of course, Bat is that scary, scary offlaner that we've seen shine many a time. And Venge, one of the best tools to deal with that obnoxious hero. You grab somebody with the lasso, Venge gives them the old swapperoo, you break the tether, and hooray, hooray, you saved one of your teammates again. So having Venge there as kind of a block pick early on is pretty darn nice. Also just a great all-around support to have for your team. And there is some synergy there with the Batrider. Earth Spirit Oracle, 2 very individually strong heroes. And man, these teams are not wasting any time. Fnatic pick up the Outworld Devourer for their 3rd, and Doombringer, now the 3rd for Sig.Trust. Likely to be that greedy 4 roaming, jungling Doom that we've seen so much of, but can't forget that he is a versatile hero after all, and could be their offlaner, could also be their safe lane farmer, though we haven't seen that in quite some while. So Sig.Trust probably looking at the beginning of a fairly greedy draft here, but one of these heroes is going to have to play the core role. So it could be, if it's a 4 Earth Spirit, then maybe it is that offlane Doom after all. Kind of an interesting draft all the way around, though. Not really heavy on the crowd controls. For Sig.Trust, they've got this kind of odd medley of heroes that are all individually strong and all have some lockdown in their own right, but not really those tried and true classic disables like the stun from Vengeful Spirit, the lasso from the Batrider. Depending on what Fnatic here, I worry a little bit about their team fight prowess. Fnatic, though, they're going heavy in the team fight, and they've got this well-rounded lineup that obviously has late game. Sven, OD, Batrider, all pretty damn good as farm continues to come out, but pretty good early fighting as well. We've seen what Sven can do, not just in the damage that he brings out from that great cleave, but also the value of Warcry. Even just getting a single value point, that's like giving your team a Vlad's worth of armor and then 12% extra movement speed on top of that. So it's pretty goddamn good. I think that is not a very bold statement.
5 seconds remaining.
A lot of follow-up damage for the Batrider lasso as well. You'll sometimes see like Batrider paired with a hero like Lion or Lina or an LC, so that Batrider can grab them, isolate them, and then just pull them right into some big burst damage and find a nice easy kill. And they don't quite have that same Laguna Blade level of burst damage, but a follow-up stun from the Venge or the Sven and then a couple of right clicks, and they should be able to find these kills relatively easily. Oracle is a pretty good hero to have in the eyes of Sig.Trust in terms of dealing with a lassoed target, but easier said than done. If you're in the right place at the right time, the false promise can save you, or at least buy time so you don't die in the duration of the lasso and turn the fight that way. But it's tricky. It kind of reminds me of like the Abaddon. You know, obviously Abaddon can cleanse the lasso with his aphotic shield, but it's not really an effective counter because the positioning is just so damn difficult. Abaddon being melee and such and having such a small cast range. A good Batrider player can kind of play around it. And hell, in some of these situations, just grabbing and isolating the Oracle is going to be the perfect way to start off these fights. I mean, Doom, again, can counter-initiate, but if Batrider can jump in, get the lasso off, and then get doomed, Fnatic are still in an okay situation to kind of deal with that. And you've always got that Astral from the OD to buy some time for somebody who gets stuck inside of that Doom. Or who gets doomed, rather. Put him inside the Astral. Sig.Trust really thinking about this here, and I think they need some team fighters. They need somebody to tie this whole thing together. They need some AoE disable. They need something like a Puck. And that is the literal opposite of what I was thinking. They go for the Medusa here. Why? I think OD is pretty good against Dusa in general. I mean, Fnatic did ban out the Nyx Assassin. That is one of the better heroes to try to deal with the Medusa. And given that they've already gone OD Sven, it seems pretty unlikely that Fnatic are going to grab an anti-mage here. I mean, they could do like a position 4 Sven and do a safe lane AM if they really feel like that mana burn is the hard counter to Medusa. They could also just look for something like a Lion, you know, nice support with some controls that also has some mana drain. It helps. It gives you something to help deal with that Medusa and cut down some of that mana pool. The other nice thing here in terms of the Medusa pick is that Fnatic don't really have a great diffusal carrier. So, I mean, it's not like Sven or OD are going to be getting diffusals this game. And this last pick, who could they grab that would work with their draft and also be good against the Medusa? Sig.Trust think that they're going to go greedy here. Offlane Batrider and a jungling Enigma. And they could still grab something greedy for the jungle, like an LC or something. But I was thinking more that it would just be the offlane Batrider and they would pick up another support so they can put a lot of pressure on during the laning stage. Now, I would really like to see something like a Bane here, just a really strong lane dominator who can do a lot of damage, roam around, and just make some space for these cores. That's really what Fnatic needs. I don't think they need to go more greed here. Their 3 cores are already really good in the late game, already need a lot of farm and space. So they're going to need all that jungle space ASAP pretty much. And they take the Night Stalker. Okay, not quite the Bane, but a very similar vein in the sense that he's a very strong lane dominator early on and can make a lot of space for your team. So I personally would have liked the range. I like that Bane just sits so far back and has so much survivability, but Night Stalker works as well. And the difference is that Night Stalker can snowball a little bit more and kind of take over the game. Jakiro, without much hesitation, from Sig.Trust. Okay. All right. I really like this Fnatic lineup. I'm not going to lie. Looking at Sig.Trust, they have 0 real stuns. You've got like Medusa's ult for a slow. You've got Jakiro's Ice Path, which is a real stun, but it's not the most reliable as it does take some setup. You've got Doom's ult and the Infernal Blade. Those aren't really stuns. Oracle, yeah, I mean, he does have a disable. The Q certainly does count, but they're lacking a little bit here. I'm trying to, like, it's so hard to call games in these SEA matchups because we've seen so many matches in this tournament where on paper I'm like, how is this team even have a chance? And then 20 minutes in, it's just like, wow, Medusa is 6-0-5. This has been a legit roaming Medusa. And we have seen Sig.Trust do this. The Lakel's Dusa. He's probably going to go for this Phase, Drum, Yasha, Aquila, like early value items, and then go right for that Scotty. We've seen this build a couple of times, and with the Yasha Phase Boot Drum, you go from this kind of slow 290 snake-looking bitch to a pretty speedy little carry that can actually move around pretty effectively. So that's definitely going to be the name of the game for Sig.Trust. I don't think they're going to be able to rest on their laurels and just play super defensive, let this Dusa hit critical mass, and just give Fnatic unlimited space. Because I think Fnatic can do more with an equal amount of space. Like once Batrider gets Blink, once Sven gets 1 or 2 core items like HOD, BKB, you know, once OD gets his Blink Drum or whatever the hell it is he's going for, Fnatic can bring the pain, and they can pretty much just rinse and repeat with these 2 supports that have these really low cooldown, spammable abilities. Looks like these squads going to fight about the bottom rune here. 4 heroes stack of Sticky coming out for this Batrider. He's going to get stunned up, but they're going to go right in onto Jabs. Who's actually going to get this bounty rune here? Medusa's going to be the one that picks it up. This could be bad for Sig.Trust. That's going to be a first blood. Comes out for the OD, and they're not even done yet. They're going to find Lakel's. He's low on mana. They're chipping away at him. They bring him down. It's a 2-fer. Now 5 stacks of Sticky up on my pro. Oh my gosh, it's a bloody disaster at the bottom rune spawn. They should be able to get this Jakiro. That bird is damn slow, and if Doom's not careful, they might be able to find him as well. It's a 4-on-2. They commit for it. 8 sticks of Stacky up on him. Now 3 up on the Doom. Huge stun from the Oracle, connects on 4, and that will be enough to keep the Doom alive, but still damage has been done. It's a 3-0 to start this game. Fnatic already with a 1,000 net worth lead as they go to the lanes. Only level 1, and they're a little bit worse for wear, but my God, was that worth it. Whew.
I'm stricken.
And OD gets that bonus gold. The Fortune's End, that's what that damn thing's called. Clutch Fortune's End there at the end from Boombell. Okay, so let's see how these lanes are settling down here. Lakel's will be safe lane, no surprise about that one. It's a Jakiro of all heroes mid going up against the OD, and I'm pretty sure this is an OD favored matchup. Maybe in these first few levels, Jakiro can harass him a little bit. Of course, Dual Breath does a lot of damage for a level 1 spell, but once OD gets a couple levels under his belt, he should be able to just harass him out with the Arcane Orb. So it should be an okay lane for the OD, and then it is just an off-lane Doombringer here. The Earth Spirit still just kind of roaming about. He's going to head down to the bottom lane for now, try and keep Lakel safe. So off-lane Doom, not going to be that greedy jungler. He should be able to farm at least a little bit up here, but won't be able to do a hell of a lot to slow down net. All things considered, this Sven should have a pretty good time. Fortune's End connects on Ohio. He'll use the Firefly, move into the tree line, and he'll be able to survive. Batrider, 5 last hits. 1, 0, and 2, and almost level 3 so far. His offlane presence is looking pretty good. So pseudo dual lanes, though, coming out from Fnatic to get things started. They'll have the Venge work in the jungle and kind of babysitting the Sven, and DJ rotating about, hanging out in the bottom lane and kind of just moving around. We're going to be moving into that first night cycle in about 2 minutes' time. So we'll see what he's going to be able to get done. Picked up Void at level 1. We'll have to be patient here. So checking back in on the mid, Jakiro is actually doing pretty damn well, and now we'll see a rotation from the Earth Spirit. Mid one taking a lot of damage, does have a haste rune. Maybe he can turn this onto the Jakiro. Venge coming in as well, puts him into the Astral. Trying to haste into a good position to find this kill without putting himself in too much harm's way. Is OD gonna get it? No, it's the Jakiro that stands his ground and finds the kill. Now 3-4-3, trying to make it happen. Still only level 1, doesn't even have a Wave of Terror. Gonna be forced to eat the Fairy Fire on the run, but Jabs will live up to his name, pokes him down. It's a twofer going the way of Sig.Trust. And all of a sudden, this mid lane that I thought would go with the way of OD is completely falling apart. Jakiro now gets credit for that kill, hits level 3, and he's actually ahead in CS. That hurts so much for the OD. All right, Sig.Trust showing a sign of life here. Batrider versus the Doom. Looks like it's a fairly even spread at this point. Doom picks up his Ring of Regen here. It's a little bit tough for the Batrider. Lakel's is doing a good job harassing him. And with these double ranged heroes, it's just constant poke. Ohio did stop off for the bottle to go with his boots. I doubt he'll go for Tranquils, but we have seen that a couple times. If you just can't get any farm, sometimes you got to do it. 4-minute rune on the way. Ohio will get the bottom regen. Nice rune for him there. And mid one just grabs the bounty. So we're now 10 seconds into our first night cycle. Level 2 Night Stalker. No crippling fear, but will have the Void. Smoked up, it just gets broken. An odd rotation from DJ here. Kind of just walks into him and then just backs up, and that's it. All right. Well, for now, both safe laners having a good time, basically in free farm heaven. Sven with a very small advantage over Lakel's, but Lakel's going to be able to pick up a couple of these neutral creeps here. Looks like Batrider actually grabbed a couple of them. Pretty nice for him. At least get the experience for that. Batrider actually doing a pretty good job here. Doom's just moved into the jungle for now, realizing there really isn't much he can do in the offlane besides leech experience. And with the double stun, now that Sven is 6, he needs to be really careful. There's a lot of kill potential. Speaking of kill potential, down bottom, Boonbell caught by the sticky. 2 stacks up. The flame break actually pretty on point, but they're not going to dive the tower to pursue. DJ's pretty healthy. Now finds level 3 and gets that second point in Void. Almost doubles the damage on it, 90 to 160. But so far, this first night cycle, a little bit underwhelming for the Night Stalker. Definitely hoping to get a bit more accomplished. Doom rotating back up towards the top lane. Net and 3-4-3 going in for a potential kill. Net has the ultimate online. Now pops the war cry. Hit by the Infernal Blade. He's going to dive this. A few more auto attacks. He might be able to get it. Doom comes back in. Has the Fairy Fire, but doesn't do the math on that one. Net just chops him down. And that's exactly what I was talking about and why he rotated into the jungle. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Lakel's getting pressured by DJ, but he's all by his lonesome. Meanwhile, up top now, 3-4-3 going at it with jabs. Net coming in, connects with the Stormhammer. 3-4-3, sidesteps the boulder, and might be able to make it out here. Jabs, still about 10 seconds before he'll have anything useful off cooldown. And I think the Venge might be good. Jakiro inbound with phase boots. Oh, you poor little bugger. Bootless Venge definitely going down this time. Spends his gold, though. Minimizes his losses. But alas, it's another kill that goes the way of the Jakiro. He'll TP home. So phase boots Jakiro, huh? That's a new one for me as well. I've not been keeping up with the latest of Sig.Trust, aside from what we've seen in this tournament. We have seen some Jakiro plays, but the phase boots are a little different. A hero that, in my experience, almost always goes for either arcanes or tranquils. So I'm mostly curious to see what build he transitions into here. I think the Yule Scepter, still very good on Jakiro, gives you setup for the Ice Path, which he'll eventually get some points in. Right now, he's just going for the damage build. 3-0-2, Dual Breath and Liquid Fire. A lot of damage over time, especially in this early laning phase. Sven really pulling ahead, though. Looks like he's going to kill that Tier 1 tower up top and did get that freebie earlier, so now he's about 1k gold up on the Medusa. Net worth, rather. It's pretty darn good. Down bottom, Hastrun on the Bat Rider. He's going to find a kill on the Kells, it looks like. Oh, Oracle. Oh, Oracle. Not going to be able to save his good friend. So back towards the mid. Looks like Doom died here. And they might be able to get a kill on the Earth Spirit as well. The Jakiro. Oh my god, this mid lane's actually falling apart. Fnatic picking up kills in every single lane. The Earth Spirit will be able to make it to the high ground, but just barely. So let's recap what just happened. Sven just solo farmed a tower down by himself. In the mid lane, they get a free kill on the mid laner. Well, no, not free. They trade 1-for-1, mid-core for mid-core, and then down bottom, Ohio finds a Hastrun and gets a solo kill on the safe lane carry. That's just about the dream scenario for Fnatic. Of course, if the OD survives there, it's a little bit better, but you slow down the core Jakiro, you slow down the Medusa, and that whole time, Sven's literally just farming. He's now gone for the HOD, so he's going to be able to pick up a creep and start stacking his Ancients as well. 8 minutes in, they haven't been stacked up quite yet. Never too early to get started, but with that HOD, he should be able to get it sooner rather than later. Down in the bottom lane, Bat Rider, caught by the Fortune's End, sets up the kill for Lakel's, and they will be able to find a little bit of vengeance on the Bat. Mid one, initiated on, rolling boulder in. He's silenced now. Looks like mid one might be able to survive this. The Magnetize, not yet leveled up from jabs. If only he was 6, it would have been a surefire kill on that OD. But alas, they just didn't have the damage for it. No Macro Pyre leveled up either. I'm curious what build the Jashiro's going to go for, because the mana boots, or probably the lack of mana boots, make his life a little more difficult in terms of mana regen, and that's where I think the Yule Scepter could come in. Probably part of the reason why he hasn't leveled up the Macro Pyre yet. Just doesn't have the mana pool to support it. Look at all that damage over time, though. Nothing 3-4-3 can do once all of it connects. Bat Rider, though, on his way in. Beautiful Flame Break on both. 2 stacks of Sticky. He's on his way. Jakiro going to try to TP home. The lasso just comes up in time. He grabs him, stuck inside of the Astral, but it doesn't matter. They just needed to interrupt the TP. It'll be a 2-for-1. They dive deep to get the Venge, but a great rotation from Ohio does secure those kills. Gets hit by the snake, but has a regen rune. Man, this guy's been the master of this bottom rune, and it has really paid some dividends. And even though Ohio just died to the Medusa, never ideal for Dusa to get a solo kill, but Bat Rider has already done the damage. Getting the kill on him moments prior already gave him so much, and he's now just a couple creep kills away from this Blink Dagger. And Ohio's looking at literally a 10-minute Blink Dagger pickup here, which is pretty damn good. Also level 8. Always scary to see the offlaner keeping up with the safe lane farmer of the opposition, and there it is. Bottle, Tranquils, and Blink, though. What happened to his bottle? Oh, there it is. He's passed it over to the Night Stalker. Sharing is caring. Ohio diving the tower again, and now he's starting to pull far enough ahead that there's just nothing they can do here. Earth Spirit gets killed in the mid lane, but 3 stacks of Sticky up on the kills. DJ rotating in. It's a dead Dusa. They're probably going to get Boom Bell as well. He's got the false promise, but is it even going to make a difference here? He won't use it. It's a 2-for in the bottom lane, and this Bat Rider is literally snowballing out of control. As we were watching that in the mid, it looks like it was a 1-for-1 Earth Spirit for the Outworld Devourer. Doom did deploy his ultimate to secure the kill there. Still trading 1-for-1, not bad for Fnatic because, hey, don't forget, Net is still literally just free farming by himself. Sig.Trust are putting all of their effort into mid and bottom, and they're still not even winning those exchanges. Fnatic still got a favorable hero trade as a 4v5 around the map. And this is, like, these are the kind of games when Bat Rider is one of the scariest heroes you can deal with because he is literally just balling out of control. He can just run up on this Medusa and there's nothing she can do about it. They're going to set up onto my pro mid. He gets put inside of the Astral, way overextended here. Dusa's on her way in. We'll actually use the ult. They set up the kill onto the Vengeful Spirit. Now DJ will just try to TP home. And he won't make it. It's a close call, but they've got the damage. Even if he made it out, probably would have died to the damage over time from Jakiro in the well. See these liquid fires starting to stack up onto the tower here, and this baby will go down. Oracle getting credit for that one, but opening up the map a little bit and taking away that primary access point from the Dire. This is one big advantage to having Jakiro in the mid lane. He will slowly siege that tower down, and usually it's not the mid tower that falls first. Generally speaking, it's a little bit harder to push. It's an access point that the opposition will defend. So the fact that they're able to take it out this quickly may bode well for Sig.Trust to gain a little bit of this lost footing, but they are pretty far behind, and they still haven't even had to fight with this Sven yet. What's Sven working on? Sanj and Yasha coming out next. So he's gone Power Treads, HOD, S and Y, just a very well-rounded fighting build here. Been slacking on stacking up the Ancients a little bit. He's had the HOD now for about 4 minutes, and we're still on this regular stack here. It looks like it was blocked out by the Radiant, and Dire will get a Sentry Ward down. Good play there from Sig.Trust to try to deal with the Ancients. Ohio taking a lot of damage in the bottom lane. Is Magnetize going to be enough? It is. Earth Spirit gets credit for that kill. All 5 of Sig.Trust in this bottom lane. They'll put a Doom on the OD in 3-4-3, moving in to try and make a little bit of space. Ice Pass connects. They're going to be able to finish off mid one. They might be able to grab a consolation kill here. My Pro getting pretty low. DJ trying to bring him down, but on the other side of it, Net joins the party and just gets destroyed. DJ now has to retreat. My Pro does survive. Compliments of the Oracle, Purifying Flames. He gets the kill on the Earth Spirit, but it's going to cost him everything. A 1-for-4. Venge somehow manages to TP out. A crazy, chaotic fight that opens up a lot of possibilities for Sig.Trust. It's a 2K net worth swing, not including the Bat Rider. Sven finally shows his face, and it ends in horrible demise. Still #1 on net worth, but that gave a lot of momentum back to this Radiant team, and all of a sudden, they're not behind by much. Bat Rider, ready with a Flaming Lasso, grabs Lakells. He's going to try to pull him into tower range, but there's the Ice Path. It's only level 1. Maybe a Flame Break can knock him closer to the tower, and it can. No false promise from Oracle. Purifying Flames will help heal up Lakells. He's got a little bit of mana left, but they are going to chase him down. 3 stacks of Sticky. 1 more from the OD, and they should get it. They will. Bat Rider off to the side, trying to find a few more. Catches Boom Bell with 1 stack of the Sticky. May get juked here, and, well, ends up going for the Rune instead. So after all that, Fnatic find 1 recovery kill, and it is on the Dusa of all heroes. They defend their tier 1 as well, so that is good news. Now they move into the Roche Pit. With Avenge and Sven, this is doable. Very early. But I think they can do this. Sven does pop the God's Strength, already down to about half duration, but with the minus armor from Venge, as well as the orbs from OD, they're going to start laying into the big boy. Jabs on his way over, sees how low Roche is. He's going to be all by himself, and they are going to catch him. Lasso on cooldown for another 25. He drops the Magnetize. Connects on 2, spreads to a 3rd, and now they go in on to mid one. He's the one that has the Aegis here, though. He will go down, coming back to life. Ice Path, Macro Pyre to set up. He gets doomed as soon as he comes back from the Aegis, and Sig.Trust are just going to run him down. Flame Break buys him a little bit of time, but nothing else the Bat Rider can do to keep his OD up. Sig.Trust again. They get to the Roche late. They don't get the gold or XP, but they get the cleanup kills. Man, Fnatic were just so far ahead in this game, and they've thrown away a pretty sizable lead. Yule Scepter's now come out on the Jakiro. He sets up onto Ohio, right into the Ice Path. There's plenty of follow-up damage, and it's just a dead Bat Rider. Easy as pie. Sig.Trust get yet another one up on the scoreboard. Dual Scepter Jakiro, tried and true classic. Doom looks like he's working on a mech now after his drum. Drums come out onto the Medusa, probably a Yasha coming out next. And the supports probably just looking for some arcane boots. Much needed for the Jakiro, still having some mana issues now that he's put some points into the Ice Path and Macro Pyre. Mid lane, Fnatic trying to split push, but Night Stalker Venge, not your best split pushing duo. And they will be forced back. Sven's still just working on his S and Y. Still top of the net worth chart, but given the lead that Fnatic had 5 minutes ago, current state of this game is a little more scary. Smoke rotation from Fnatic. Gonna move right into enemy territory here. Not sure what they're gonna find though. Looks like they'll rotate back towards mid. There's still a tier 1 tower standing, so this might not be the easiest gank to go for. Oracle standing nearby, false promises available. They're gonna grab him with the lasso. Medusa pops the ultimate. Stone Gaze might be enough to keep the Oracle alive. He gets off the ult and the Purifying Flames, and he will live. Now Ohio on the run, clipped by the Magnetize, swapped from 3-4-3. That will keep Ohio alive, and now the Venge is on the run. DJ on his way to try and save his comrade, and they might just be able to do it. No, one more arrow from Medusa finds the kill, but now Net's on his way in, pops the Warcry for some movement speed, and they'll bring down the Earth Spirit. Bat Rider playing a little ring around the rosy here, has to walk through the Macro Pyre, doesn't have the Firefly, and oh man, he's going to be isolated and killed. Now Net, he takes the Doom, few more auto attacks, and this should be a dead Sven. It's a double damage rune on the Jakiro, and the damage is really starting to add up. He's got another Liquid Fire. DJ caught by the Infernal Blade, and he's just too damn slow. Jakiro brings him down, and it's a 1-for-3 in the Radiant jungle. Again, Sig.Trust just running him down. God, it feels like there's just nothing this Sven can do. It's actually a 4-for-1. The Venge died in that fray as well, but just respawned before the fight completed. Every single one of these fights, Sig.Trust are just getting so much, and Sven's lead is feeling less and less impressive. HOD, S, and Y. And after all that, he still only has 2 stacks of Ancients to work with. Radiant with the Sentry Ward down. Very nice. Venge is going to try to stack it up, and it's not going to work. Sig are doing a great job keeping Fnatic at bay, no doubt about it. Ooh, now the Veil of Discord out on the Earth Spirit. A really good item this game for this Radiant squad. An item that Jakiro will often go himself, but instead he's going to go Yules into Atos, get some more stats, get the utility of that cripple to slow people down so they can't easily get out of the Macro Pyre. He's already got a ton of slow with the Dual Breath and Liquid Fire. Well, Liquid Fire attack speed slow, but now he's got super slow with Dual Breath and Atos. Visibility rune here on the Earth Spirit. It's certainly not over for Fnatic, though. Far from it. Sven can still get huge, come online, and turn this game around. I do have some confidence. But these last couple team fights, it just seems like he's walked in, popped his war cry, and then basically died. Really impressed by the amount of utility this Jakiro has brought out onto the field. The slows have made it so hard for Fnatic to retreat once they start losing these fights. Sig.Trust grabs that tier 1 tower up top. As Fnatic rotate through the jungle here, we could see a fight break out. Abba blinks forward, has the Doom, but gets silenced now. DJ, the one that gets left behind. It's Ohio that comes in now to counter-initiate. Lasso gets interrupted, and he will be pushed to the side. Looks like they might be able to find this kill on DJ after all. Yule's Scepter sets it up right into the Ice Path, and Earth Spirit will get credit for that kill. Mid one on the run. He's gone. Power Treads blink now, so kind of squishy, but does have a lot of mobility. Will just be a quick kill on one of the dire supports. Though Sig.Trust, I think, happy just not to get caught unaware there. Yasha up on the Medusa, and the Atos actually on the way here for Jakiro. They're going to catch Ohio and just completely destroy him. The Yules gives you a free setup onto Ice Path, and they've got enough follow-up that they can kill pretty much anybody. Lakel's level 13 now, maxed out Mystic Snake. It does a pretty good amount of damage. And they can afford to be aggressive. If things get sticky, you just pop that Stone Gaze and you can disengage pretty darn well. Tier 2 tower in the mid falls in favor of Sig.Trust. Net trying to split push in the top lane, but Doom will be there to intercept him. Doom actually not going for that early mech as I was thinking. Instead stops off for the Blink Dagger. Wants some more initiation for the team. Certainly can't blame him for that. So far, it seems like the advantage Sig.Trust has come mostly from their initiation prowess. Primarily from the Jakiro, but still, they've done a great job of dealing with this Bat Rider. Not only counter-initiating when he jumps in to grab somebody with the lasso, but also just to try and catch him out, be the target they initiate on. Finally see some stacking take place here. It's a 4-stack for Fnatic, and Net will pop the ultimate and take it out. So he does clear out a stack, but we're 20 minutes in, and I think that's the first Ancient stack that he's killed. That speaks to how effectively Sig.Trust had prevented that Ancient stacking. It's so important against a hero like Sven. And when you have a Medusa, there is potential for you to be able to take it yourself. And, you know, I mean, Sig.Trust have the option where they could be trying to stack their own Ancients and give it to Medusa, but it does get risky because if Fnatic try to steal it, if it goes the way of Sven, can be a big loss. They're going to go mid. They jump right onto mid one. Doom to follow up, and they're going to have some follow-up damage here from the Fortune's End. Very nice. 3-4-3 going to try to TP home, but the Infernal Blade will interrupt it, and it's an easy twofer. Oracle getting credit for both of those. Very nice. Boombell should definitely be happy with that.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Ohio just hanging out in the jungle here, trying to find some farm. Ring around the Rosie. I think he'll stay safe. And DJ may actually get caught by Abba.
Silence.
No Doom, but just his presence pushes him back. DJ is close to the Aghanim. It's only 500 gold away from the last piece. And Darkness will give him that upgraded vision. Nighttime at least, quite nice. As more split pushing from the Jakiro comes about. That's a tier 2 tower down. Only one outer tower remaining for Fnatic, and it's this guy right here. This half-health tier 2 up top. It feels like Fnatic are further behind than they actually are. It's only about 3,500 net worth. Experience is pretty darn even. The Sven is still keeping up and now has a Blink Dagger to go with his S and Y. So a little movement speed as well as some Blink initiation. This next fight that he's involved in might be able to get a little more done. But I think Sig.Trust feeling pretty happy about their current state of this game. They may stay quiet until Lakel's completes the Scotty. Right now he's got double ulti orb. Ohio, the one that gets initiated on here by Jabs. Nice swap from 3-4-3, but it's probably going to cost him his life. Fortune End catches him. Purifying Flames get him low. The follow-up damage is there. Earth Spirit will get credit for that kill. Ooh. Ooh, Bat Rider. Backing up to the base. So yeah, Lakel's kind of at this weird spot now where he's got the double ulti orb. Not exactly value items for the inventory. He'll get a huge bump in his power curve as soon as that Scotty comes out. Absolutely love this build, though. You know exactly what Lakel's is going to do. It's very predictable, very standard, but it's just so goddamn good. It gives you everything. Big armor, big HP, all the stats you need, and more importantly, that movement speed.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Bottom lane, split pushing from mid one. Is this a free tier 3 tower here for Sig.Trust? Fnatic just don't want to fight this. Oh, the lasso gets broken right away onto Lakel's. 3-4-3 with a swap, but it's just going to cost him his life. Looking like a good fight here for Sig.Trust as they just destroy the OD as well. No buyback available on either of them. And this should be a free lane of barracks now. No glyph available. A 5v3. They may even just rotate bottom after these barracks fall. They've lost their creep wave, though. Oh, my gosh. This is so unfortunate. They might have the damage to kill the barracks anyway, compliments of that liquid fire, and they certainly do. And Net, with the right idea, he just cuts the lane, tries to kill some of these creeps, and he will get the courier. Meanwhile, the rest of Fnatic starting to push out of the base. And Sig.Trust will be repelled. Fight's not over quite yet, though. Sven's in kind of an awkward position here. They're going to catch him. Infernal Blade will slow him down a bit. He doesn't have an ult, but will be able to war cry away. Now on the other side, MyPro. Caught by Ohio and DJ. Teammates inbound, and Ohio going to be in no man's land. He's going to push way too far out of the base. That's going to be the end of him. And Sig.Trust will get another freebie as Lakel's finishes off the Ancients here. And he does have Scotty money now as Roche comes up. Double damage rune on net. This is a big window of opportunity for Fnatic here. And they're actually not going to be able to seize the day. Sven's just going to back out. I was thinking with God Strength and double damage, you could kill Roche so damn fast. There's just no way Sig.Trust could contest, but they were in the neighborhood. They could have and they would have. They're checking it out now. And they see that Roche is still standing nice and healthy. Bottom lane. DJ and Net going to find themselves in a bit of a sticky wicket here. The Sven TP's into the trees, but 3-4-3 going to get picked off again. 1-11 on this Vengeful Spirit. It's been a tough game for him. He's been forced to play the Sacrificial Lamb on more than one occasion. And it has just not gone well for him. OD with a very brave build here. Midas, Blink Dagger, Orchid. Super greedy. And super squishy. That's what I'm worried about here. He just has no survivability. If he can be the initiator, get a Blink Orchid initiation, well, it could be a game changer. That's a way to control the Oracle and then allow the Bat Rider to grab somebody else with the lasso. We'll see him go in onto Lakel's here. The Scotty gets picked up. And just like that, the ult from Oracle comes out and he'll be just fine. OD dies off to the side as we're watching this. Lakel's pops the ulti. And they could possibly turn this. Ohio trying to chase down Boombell. But on the other side, Core is falling like crazy. Fnatic just falling apart here. They still can't even bring down Lakel's even when he's out of mana. He's shooting snowballs back towards Ohio. They might still get him. Can anybody else rotate in? Boombell doing what little he can, but 5 stacks of sticky. It's just too much. Venge will get credit for that kill. And now Boombell is in a world of hurt. He's going to be silenced and he will be brought down. It's a 2-for-2 across the map. But on the other side, it was OD as well as the Sven that died. So I'd say a good trade for Sig. They also find the Venge. Oh, man. FIFA Friday indeed. He kicks the Remnant forward, interrupts the TP, and that makes it a 2-for-3 in the favor of Sig.Trust. They are just running over Fnatic at this point. Probably should have checked in on that other fight up top to see what was going down, but it still feels like this Sven just can't get much done. He will have a BKB coming out soon. Maybe that'll be the difference maker, but there's a lot of big items coming out on this Radiant side now. Vlad's up on the Doom. Interesting that he just picked up Buckler and never upgraded it. Really thought that would have turned into a mech. With the Tranquils, he is relatively low in terms of mana pool, but mech is just so goddamn good. Aether Lens on the Oracle, perfect game for it. We talked about this before. But now with this increased range on Fool's Promise, he should be able to break the lasso almost every time. Aghanim Scepter also up on the Earth Spirit. Scary items to see in his inventory at 28 minutes. Aghanim's and Veil. His damage output is actually ridiculous. And don't forget, gives him that ability to turn those allies into stone remnants. Raises that skill cap a little bit. Here we go. High ground siege. Roche is still standing. Sig.Trust don't even want it. They're just going to go right in towards the base. They put Lakel's in the front line here. There is a glyph for Fnatic, but they are going to hold it. Flame break. Pokes the Medusa a bit higher up. There's going to be a wraparound play from DJ, or at least an attempt. Lakel's stunned up, lasso onto Boombell, but mid one, he's the one that gets doomed. Caught by the ice path, he's gonna fall, 3-4-3 as well, and it's a disaster for Fnatic. They lose 3 to start the fight. Net pops the BKB and goes in swinging, but he's just isolated. At this point, it's a 2-on-5. Bat Rider buys back, but he's already used the lasso. Net'll lose his BKB, and then all of a sudden, he is completely surrounded. 5-on-1, he's dead. No buyback there, and this could be a GG moment. Sig.Trust, a 4-for-0 in that final fight, even without an Aegis, and that's it. GG's called. Fnatic taps out, and Team Sig.Trust do it with this funky, funky draft. Safe lane Medusa off-lane Doom, and mid Jakiro is just too much for Fnatic to handle. Even after that brilliant start, Fnatic had a 1,000 net worth lead moving into the lanes. Jakiro, surprisingly good that game. A hero that really shines early on, doesn't scale particularly well, but 9, 3, and 16. He kept up, he knocked down towers, and he contributed so much to those teams. The Yule Scepter initiation, basically all they needed. So many ways to deal with the Bat Rider as well. Fnatic opened with the Vengeful Spirit Bat Rider, but Sig.Trust showing us here that Oracle, just as effective against the Bat Rider as the Venge, if not better. Pardon me. Well, that's game one, folks. Goes the way of Sig.Trust. It is a best of 3 here in your upper bracket finals. I'm Zyori from moonducktv. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back after this short break.